Hello again, everybody. This is Rocket Rick J18, and today I want to talk to you about some recent pickups. This is really the third video of recent pickups for me, and I'm going to focus almost, not quite, but almost entirely on a series of cards known as Berk Ross cards. Now, Berk Ross was the name of the photographer who did all of the photographs for the Bowman cards of 1948 through 1955. And he, since he was the photographer, kept the copyrights to his photographs, and presumably that's why he was allowed to do this. What I'm going to show you is two cards of Bob Lemon, one from the 1951 set and one from the 1952 set. And in order to do that, I'm going to turn the camera around so that I can focus on. And here we go. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see them in even greater detail. There we go. So the card, the smaller card, is from the 1951 set. And so that's Bob Lemon, and that's in pretty good condition. The card on the right is also Bob Lemon, Cleveland Indians pitcher, and it is in terrible condition. Certainly wouldn't grade any better than poor, and might not even make it up that high. So I'm going to turn these cards over so you can see the backs, and just move them up there, get them pretty much lined up on the bottom, and that way you can see the difference in the sizes of the cards. Now the 1951 set, which has his record from 1950, is about the size, give or take a little bit, of the 1948 through 1950 Bowman cards. And as I say, this card's in pretty good condition. The one next to it is from the 1952 Berk Ross set, and it has his 1951 one-loss record down there at the bottom, 17-14. And again, pitcher for the Cleveland Indians. And these sets were known as a hit parade of champions. So those are the Bob Lemon cards, and a little bit about the card sets themselves. Now I'm going to show you some more 1952 cards. And the first card I'm going to show you is the 1952 Orestes Mini Minoso from the Chicago White Sox. And that's his card, Berk Ross, 1952 Berk Ross card. And the next card is the 1952 Joe Ostrowski card. And Joe was a pitcher with the New York Yankees. Next we have Larry Jensen, who was a pitcher with the New York Giants in 1952. The next card that I'm going to show you is also a Yankee, but not a pitcher. Instead, he was the I believe he played second base. It's Gil McDougall. He was the American League Rookie of the Year, and I believe that was in 1951. He hit 306 in 131 games, and that's his card, his Berk Ross card. And next we come to an infielder, Bill Rigney, with the New York Giants. Another New York Giants outfielder, Clint Hartung, and that's his 1952 Berk Ross card. And next we come to the 1952 Berk Ross card of Ralph Kiner. And in this one, you notice that his name is written in script on the front of the card. This was the 6th year in a row in which Ralph Kiner led the National League in home runs. He went on to hit another National League leading home runs in 1953. That was the last year of a 7-year string. And then you probably have heard me tell this story that at the end of the 1953 season, with the Pirates finishing in last place, he went to Branch Rickey and said, who was then the general manager of the Pirates, said, I want to get a big raise. And Branch Rickey said, he said, I'm not going to give you a raise. He said, we finished in last place with you, and we can finish in last place without you, which they did in 1954. Anyway, Ralph was traded rather unceremoniously to I believe he went to the Chicago Cubs first, and then he got traded the next year. And then after 1955, he really didn't play very much because he had a very bad back, and eventually it ended his career as a player, and he went on to a more than 50-year career as a broadcaster with the New York Mets. And he named his post-game radio show, Kiner's Corner, after Kiner's Corner in left field at Forbes Field, where the Pirates played, because he deposited so many home runs in that area. So that's Ralph Kiner. And the next card is a Hall of Famer, Johnny Mize. And here he's pictured with the New York Yankees. Of course, he also played many years with the St. Louis Cardinals. This was later in his career. But he helped the Yankees to a World Series championship in 1952 and again in 1953. Johnny Mize. And the next card is a card of the Yankee second baseman, Jerry Coleman. And Jerry was a pretty good, if not long ball hitting infielder. He and Phil Rizzuto made a great double play combination. And Phil Rizzuto really felt like he had more freedom to move around in the shortstop position because, Coleman was such a good fielder. At the end of his career as a Yankee infielder, by this time I think that Gil McDougall played in the infield also, probably at either shortstop or third base, and I should know that, but I don't. Anyway, I started to say Jerry Coleman at the end, after his playing career was over. He went on to a Hall of Fame career as a broadcaster with the San Diego Padres. He was from California, but not San Diego. He was from the Bay Area. That's Jerry Coleman. And the next card is a card of one of the great Yankee pitchers from this era, Allie Reynolds. In 1951, Allie Reynolds threw 2 no-hitters on his way to helping the Yankees to the third of 5 straight world championships in 1951, and then in 1952 he also helped them to a world championship. Allie Reynolds. Also, one of the great pitchers of that Yankee pitching staff, Vic Raschi. Raschi was acquired in a trade, I want to say with the St. Louis Cardinals. And in any case, he teamed up with Ed Lopat, Allie Reynolds, and Whitey Ford to really be a pretty formidable starting pitching staff for the Yankees. This is his 1952 Berk Ross card. And finally, I probably don't have to introduce this guy, but he also played second base for the Yankees, and he made a great catch in the 1951 World Series in the first game that led to a victory for the Yankees in Game 1 against the Brooklyn Dodgers. That's, of course, Billy Martin. He left the Yankees when he was traded to, I want to say Minnesota, Washington, but he might have been. It might not have been Washington. He ended up with the Minnesota Twins, which of course was the Washington Senators franchise, but not until 1960. He was traded after the famous 1957 Copacabana brawl, which included Hank Bauer, Whitey Ford, and Billy Martin, of course, and Mickey Mantle. The Yankees weren't going to trade Mickey Mantle, and they weren't going to trade Whitey Ford, but they did get rid of Billy Martin, and they did get rid of Hank Bauer, really under the heading of We can't have this going on with our star players. So that's Billy Martin and his 1952 Berk Ross card. And that's the last of the Berk Ross cards. I do want to show you two cards that I got in the recent basement collection auction of Christy Mathewson, and they are from the 1960 new card baseball highlights set. The first is card number 8, which depicts Christy Mathewson's 3 World Series shutouts in 1905 World Series, which the Giants won and was their first World Series championship. The other card is also Christy Mathewson from the same set, and this depicts the Giants' victories in 26 straight games, in which they set a record which is, I believe, still the baseball record. It's not the longest winning streak for any major sports franchise, but because the Lakers won 33 straight games. Not sure, 1972, I want to say. But in any case, this in 1916, the Giants came up a little short, but Christy Mathewson certainly did well, and that 26-game winning streak was the highlight of their season in 1916. So that's all I have to show you in this video. And let me say I've got one more non-sports card video to make, which I hope to make today, and get that uploaded. But maybe that won't happen till tomorrow. In any case, this is Rocket Rick J, 18, wishing that all your collecting dreams come true.